بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. أما بعد، Inshallah, before I start, someone missing Motorola phone here. Someone found the phone on the floor. So if you're missing, what is it? What he said. So inshallah, as we agreed last time, or as I dictated on you to go over, we're going to try to explain the book. تحفة العراقية في الأعمال القلبية لشيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية. And we said that one of the important things that we have to look into as Muslims, our hearts. And we said that Allah Azza wa Jal on the day of judgment will be very soon, that the key to enter paradise is a sound heart. يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم. The day when your offspring nor your wealth will help you, except the one who comes to Allah with a sound heart. Qalb salim. So it was very important upon us to discuss the qalb, and not the qalb that we're talking about, that physical piece of flesh or muscle inside the chest that each one of us has, but more of what it has in it. فإن القلب الشرعي, when we talk about the qalb in the context of the Quran and the Sunnah, we are talking about what's in it, what's in this heart. فإن القلب وعاء. Qalb, imagine the heart like a container. What is it we put in it? What we have in it? What Allah Azza wa Jal wants us to have in it? How Allah Azza wa Jal invites us and tells us to treat it. How we keep it healthy. What kind of diseases it can face. What kind of infection. What kind of things that should be the main components in it. And the main contents. All that inshallah is what we will try to discuss once we understand the reality of the heart. In the beginning there will be an introduction that is a must for us to be able to pave the road so we can start talking about the heart itself. We have to understand Aqidat Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. We have to understand the foundations to be able to build on that. Just jumping into the topic might be very confusing. اسم الكتاب تحفة العراقية في الأعمال القلبية والتحفة لشيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية. Shaykh al-Islam was born in 661 Hijri and died in 728. 661 to 728. And he was born in مدينة حران، وهذه يعني كانت عراقية ثم صارت شامية، والآن هي موجودة بين الحدود السورية التركية من جهة الأتراك. يعني هي مدينة، the city he was born in, Haran, is a city in Turkey. ثم هاجر رحمه الله with his family, migrated to Sham. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make it easy to our brothers and sisters in Syria. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to give them victory very soon. And Nasr, بشائر النصر بدأت تتضح, and the beginnings of victory are starting inshallah. And I said it in Ramadan. I said it's going to be in Ramadan. So, inshallah. So, he wrote this book, التحفة. He called it التحفة العراقية. Perhaps al-Iraqiyya, because the people who approached him were from Iraq, who came to him to ask him to write them something about the hearts. Al-Tuhfa, usually something precious you give to a guest. When a visitor comes to you or a guest, you give him something special or aziz. Aziz yani nadir, unique, as a gift. Maybe it's the first food you feed them, which is usually got to be the best you got. فهذه التحفة. وكأن شيخ الإسلام رحمه الله says that this book is something very unique. I'm giving a gift to the people who came to me and to the Ummah because of the contents in it. We will see that the heart is very much the most important thing that Islam came to talk about. We will see the heart has many names in the Quran, different names based on the conditions. Allah Azza wa Jal, when He addresses Ulil Albab. When you find, for example, Ulil Uqul, Ulil Uqul, Ulil Albab. فمثلا يقول الله عز وجل إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار والفلك التي تجري في البحر بما ينفع الناس وما أنزل الله من السماء فأحيا به الأرض بعد موتها وبث فيها من كل دابة وتصريف الرياح والسحاب المسخر بين السماء والأرض لآيات لأولي الألباب؟ لا، لقوم يعقلون. To people who can understand. But then he says, starting with the same wordings in another ayah, this is in Al-Baqarah, and the other ayah in Al-Imran toward the end, he says, إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ لَآيَاتٍ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. فشوف how long the other one was and how short this one was. Because أولي الألباب don't need much information to understand. أولي العقول need explanation. فترى ذكر كل هذه الأشياء in the creation of the heavens and the earth and the rain that comes down and the ocean that the ship sails in and this and that. أولي العقول, they want proofs, they want examples, they want to see, they want experience. أولي الألباب, with very little they get it. هذا العقل القلب. أولي الألباب وللقلوب والأفئدة. Very important. So التحفة العراقية, this is a special gift that Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah is giving to the Ummah. التحفة العراقية في الأعمال القلبية, in the issue of the actions of the heart. And we will see in a little bit that the hearts have actions, the way your body and your limbs and faculties have actions. يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم with this word, وأنت سترى, when we bring a word, we need to bring a dalil. وهذا نهج أهل العلم. The people of knowledge, when they present an idea, they have to support it and back it up by Quran and Sunnah. That is the difference between people who follow the Quran and the Sunnah and people who follow their own desires. فإذا in the word التحفة وردت في حديث من أحاديث النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم تحفة أهل الجنة زيادة كبد الحوت أو كبد النون. تحفة أهل الجنة. إيش يعني قلنا التحفة إيه؟ The first thing or the precious thing that you give to a guest. Special food comes a lot of the times food. But the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم in this hadith he said تحفة أهل الجنة, يعني the first food, the best food, the very first thing that أهل الجنة will eat, زيادة كبد الحوت. The first food that أهل الجنة, the people who enter paradise, will eat is, if you look at the liver, liver has two lobes, has the right lobe and the left lobe, right? The left lobe is the small part. You find invagination between this part and that part. So ziyada is the left lobe, the left lobe, the left lobe. So that is the very first food that Ahl Jannah eat, the first or this left lobe of the liver of al-hut, the whale. the whale, and it's more delicious than the rest of it. Then the Prophet ﷺ says, ثم ينحر لهم على أثره ثور الجنة التي كان يرتع أو يرعى في أطرافها. وهذا قيل أن الحديث سئله النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من يهودي. اليهود عندهم علم من الكتاب. The Jews have knowledge. So they wanted to test the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, so they asked him, what is the first thing people of Al-Jannah eat? وهذه حقائق. These are facts. It's not like the Sharia of Musa will be one thing and the Sharia of Muhammad. لا. This is not fiqh. This is not ahkam. This is aqidah. This is ghaib. Because these are ghaibiyat. When Allah Azza wa Jal, Quran is two types. In the Quran, you find two types of information. Information that is ahkam, which can be abrogated, can be changed from one stage to another. Rules. First, alcohol, something good, something bad. But the good is more than the bad. Then, do not pray while drunk. Then, do not drink, period. These ahkam change. But there's the other part, which is facts. Facts do not get abrogated. When Allah Azza wa Jal says, in Jannah or hellfire got 7 doors, it's not going to be abrogated. Later on Allah will say, now the hellfire has 10 doors. Okay? So when Allah Azza wa Jal says to Musa alayhi salam that the first food of Ahl al-Jannah is the liver of a whale, he will tell the same thing to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. These things will not change. But the shahid from mentioning this hadith, the word the Prophet said, تحفة أهل الجنة زيادة كبد النون. تحفة أهل الجنة. The first thing, the first most precious present will be offered to the newcomers to paradise. The first food they will eat is زيادة كبد النون. وهذه التحفة العراقية اسمها العراقية. أنت ترى في كتب ابن تيمية رحمه الله مثلا العقيدة التدمرية، ثم ترى العقيدة الواسطية. هذه people come from different areas and they ask him for one thing and he writes for them. They tell him the people in such and such city want a book about عقيدة, so he writes them a book. وقد قيل, some of his books that he will sit at Asr, they come to him at Asr, they say we want a book. By Maghrib he's done. By Maghrib he's done. وهذه من البركة. لا كمبيوتر ولا words ولا spelling check. هذا يعني these people Allah Azza wa Jal has blessed. Bless their time, bless their minds, bless their efforts. So that is why you find many different names related to that area. And perhaps if he was alive today, I'll go to him and say, أهل ميامي, وأنا book about their عقيدة, العقيدة الميامية. Allah understand, he's not here. But when we talk about the heart, we talk about عبادات القلب. العبادة اسم جامع لكل ما يحبه الله عز وجل. They asked what العبادة means. What worship means? Shaykh al-Islam rahimahullah summed it up in one sentence. He said al-ibadah is a collective word for everything that Allah loves. Sure? If you want to explain al-ibadah, how far are you going to go? And Islam, you need anything that Allah Azza wa Jal loves and you do with the right intention, ibadah. Anything that Allah Azza wa Jalla approves and you do it with the right intention, ibadah. فالقلب, when we talk about the heart, we're talking about the heart's ibadat al-qalb. The way we have physical ibadat like salah, zakah, and hajj, and fasting, they are ibadat for the hearts as well. Even these physical ibadat will mean nothing without the origination from the heart. That tells you the significance of the heart. There are many people who do a lot of ibadat, physical, but it means nothing. كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, the person will pray and he will get out of his prayer will be written for him 110. He prays 60 years. Then he comes on the day of judgment, he only prayed 6 years. Because he only got 110. عشر صلاة. كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. بعضهم خمس, بعضهم ربع, بعضهم ثلث. مثلا نصف. So, very much the physical ibadat. Why his physical prayer? If he did what he was supposed to do, why he only got 10th of it? Because there was no sync between the heart, the ibadah of the heart, and the physical ibadah. And that's what we want to achieve. I want you in this Ramadan, Allah, do this. Every time you're not busy, you're driving your car, مثلا. You're driving your car, coming to the masjid, going to work. Think about your heart. You might think it's not a big deal. Try it and see. Think about your heart. While you're praying, think, where is my heart? Physical heart. Just think and let your mind take you down there, to the left side of your chest. And indeed you will see a difference. You will have, and you will start feeling something strange. Where is my heart? And immediately your mind will take you there. And you start feeling something. Try to do this. This is an exercise that we need to start doing. And if you have something precious on you, with you, your phone, how many times you check that your phone on your side? Now if you have those, what they call them, what you sell, these things they put on the side? Cases that you put the cell phone in. How many times a day you check, the phone is there? If you have a wallet, how many times you check every day? It's in there. Like your heart, if your future and your akhirah is determined by your heart, shouldn't you be checking your heart every single minute? You should put it on your calendar. Talk to Siri and let her tell you, let her put schedule your heart. I want to check my heart every 10 seconds. No problem. If your success is in this heart, then it will not be a big deal to check it every 10 seconds, not even every 1 second. So عندنا العبادات ظاهرة وباطنة. عبادات ظاهرة وباطنة. If you don't know who Siri, how many people don't know who Siri is? Siri is a lady who lives in iPhone. Yeah? There is something like crazy. I don't know how they managed to fit a woman inside there. But, alright? So ibadah, ظاهرة وباطنة. You have worships that in the open, and you have hidden ibadah, concealed. And they're obvious. They're things you cannot hide. If you're going to pray, you cannot hide. I have to see you. Some people have to see you. Your zakat. Maybe Salah, you say, I pray in my house, no one can see me. But Hajj. You want to make sure everyone leaves Arafah, and then that's when you go? It doesn't work. في صار عبادات ظاهرة وفي العبادات الباطنة. عبادات الباطنة يعني the inner عبادات. No one can see, and that is when we talk about that, we're talking about the heart. When we talk about the outside عبادات that people tend to see, عبادات الجوارح. When we say الجوارح يعني your faculties, your hands, your legs, your eyes, your ears, واللسان, and your tongue. And your tongue. So, as I said, when we talk about the heart, الشرعي, the heart in the context of the deen. Now forget about the heart, the physical heart. That muscle that beats and they can see you through X-rays and MRI or whatever they use. We're talking about القلب الشرعي, the heart in Sharia is what's in it, the context in this heart. Again, this is a very important concept to understand. Your heart, the way mentioned in the Quran and the Sunnah, is about a container. What you put in it is what you get. فَكُلُّ وِعَاءٍ بِمَا فِيهِ يَنْضَحِ. Any container. If you get a container and you fill it with gold, will you get silver? No. You fill it with rice, you're gonna get wheat? No. So that's why it's important to understand the heart in the Sharia context as a container will fill with what you choose to fill it in, or to fill it with. Okay? So that is the heart when I'm not going to keep saying heart in the context of Sharia. Heart, from now on you need to understand, heart is heart in the context of the Sharia, meaning it's a container and will be supplied, things will be put in it. Iman, kufr, salah, fasad, taqwa, khawf, haya, raja, sidq, kadhib. Depends. Okay? These are the stuff that go in the heart. So we're not talking about heart and compartments and this and muscle and nerves and all that. يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, he points to the heart and he said, تقوى ها هنا. Taqwa is here, is in here. So he didn't say the heart is here. Everyone knows that. The muscle heart is here. But the taqwa ها هنا. يعني التقوى is in this heart, is in this location, in the heart. وفي حديث النعمان بن بشير رضي الله عنه قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ألا إن في الجسد مضغة إذا صلحت صلح الجسد كله أو صلح لها الجسد كله. He said صلى الله عليه وسلم in the famous حديث الحلال بين والحرام بين, حديث النعمان بن بشير, that there is a piece of flesh in the body. If it's good, the whole body is good. Now if he was talking about the physical heart, then this statement will not be accurate. Some guy might have brain cancer, but his heart is perfect. Fine? There's nothing wrong with his heart. But he's dying. But the Prophet says, the heart, إِنَّ فِي الْجَسَدِ مُضْغَةٌ, there's a piece of flesh in the body. If it's good, the whole body will be good. So now we know that the Prophet is talking about different hearts. He's not really talking about the physical heart. He's talking about the spiritual heart. The heart that will be your vehicle to Jannah. Very important. So this heart is like a king. If the king is good, the ra'iyya will be good. Now if you have a good leader or a good king, his armies and his junood and his soldiers, you really think will be oppressing people and will be doing their own thing? No. Will they go out and kill their own people? No. Because of the king, whatever orders he gives them, they're gonna do. So the heart is the king, and the faculties and the tongue is his soldiers. If the heart is good, the soldiers will be good. If the heart is bad, the soldiers will be bad, regardless of how much good you are as a con artist and as a liar. You will always, what's in your heart, somehow Allah Azza wa Jal will show it and present it in your face. It doesn't matter. Okay? إذن القلب, so one idea, القلب is wi'a, container, and القلب is a king. So this heart controls the rest of your body. And even studies for the last maybe 10-20 years, medical studies, had shown that there is control over the brain through the heart. So there is control on the brain. When they said the brain controls everything, absolute, and no one can argue that, now there are new studies prove that the heart has some influence on the brain. And I believe as years come, they will start realizing the heart has more influence than what they think. And the cases or study cases about people who got heart transplants are documented. And you can go and read. People who got heart replacement, someone dies and someone needs a heart, and they took the heart of the dead person in an accident, for example, and they give it to the new person whose heart is bad, start behaving differently. Even some cases show that, of course, when they donate a heart, they don't tell you whose heart it was. Even some cases prove that the guy who received the new heart started and got and figured out the name of the guy who owned this heart without anyone telling him. He started adopting his behaviors. So definitely there is big influence on the brain from the heart. That's why Allah Azza wa Jalla mentions this heart so many times in His book. Even when we talk about al-ibadat in the heart, we're talking about al-iman very much. فالإيمان قول وعمل. عند أهل السنة والجماعة that we belong to, inshallah, that الإيمان قول وعمل. الإيمان ماهية الإيمان belief قول وعمل وتصديق. Belief, talk and action. Belief, speech and action. Belief, speech and action. Okay? So that is also something we have to understand as we talk about the heart. فالقول قولان. When we talk about speech, two types of speech. عندك قول اللسان وعندك قول القلب. The way that your tongue speaks is also your heart speak. فقول اللسان مثلا تلفظ بالشهادتين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. You use your tongue to say that. طيب. أما قول القلب to believe. Now for example, إحنا we believe مثلا the pillars of الإيمان. الشهادتين إيمان بالله إيمان بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر. طيب, is it enough to say, and I believe in the angels, but your heart doesn't believe? Your heart doesn't say it? Of course not. So it must be said by your heart. You can run around and say, I believe in angels all everywhere, but in your heart you don't believe there is such thing as angels. Doesn't mean anything. So the way your tongue will say shahadatain is also the way your heart will speak, which is to believe. Arkan al-Iman must be believed in the heart. So this is قول اللسان الشهادتين, for example. قول القلب تصديق, to believe. والعمل أيضا أعمال. عندك عمل القلب, عندك عمل الجوارح, وعندك عمل اللسان. عمل اللسان ذكر, قراءة القرآن, هذا actions of the tongue. Okay? Then عندك عمل الجوارح. You want to the masjid, your salah, your sujood, your ruku'. These are the actions of your faculties. وعندك عمل القلب. And this is what we will tackle in this book. And this is what Shaykh al-Islam talked about, which is عمل القلب. That's why the book is called تحفة العراقية في الأعمال القلبية, addressing mainly the actions of the heart. Like what? Actions of the heart. That's what we will see as we read this book, inshallah. Prophet ﷺ says in the hadith, Al-Iman بضع وسبعون شعبة. You all know this. Al-Iman, some and 70 branches أو levels. أعلاها لا إله إلا الله. The highest لا إله إلا الله أو لا إله إلا الله. وأدناها إماطة الأذى عن الطريق. And the lowest to remove harm of the road. وإن رجلا, so some trunk of a tree blocking the road, he removed it. Some branches blocking the way of the people, removed it, as in the hadith al-sahih. فأدخله الله الجنة. And Allah admitted him in paradise because he removed it from the way of people. طيب, قول لا إله إلا الله عمل إيه؟ Actions of what? Of the tongue. We said shahadatain. Removing harm of the road. Actions of what? Jawarih, faculties, your hands, your foot if you kick it. Then the Prophet says, وَالْحَيَاءُ شُعْبَةٌ مِنَ الْإِيمَانِ. Haya, modesty, shyness, is a level of al-Iman. Al-Haya. Do you say Haya on your tongue? Do you express Haya and modesty on your tongue? Modesty in your hand? Maybe. But mainly modesty is one of the actions of the heart. Modesty is the actions of the heart. If you have no modesty in your heart, you will do whatever you don't care. كما في حديث النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إن لم تستحي فاصنع ما شئت. One of the understanding of this hadith, if you have no shame, then you're going to do whatever. No one will care about you. As it's one understanding. The more eloquent understanding is that if you have no shame and you don't believe that you're doing something wrong, then why you're hesitant? And I'm traveling in the airport, time for Salah. I need to pray, right? Embarrassed. Is there anything wrong with praying? Then do it. Don't have shame. Don't be embarrassed. Stuff like that. So we see in this hadith, it included or entailed the three actions. The actions of the tongue, shahadatin. The actions of the heart, or the actions of the faculties, removing harm. And the actions of the heart, al-haya. Okay? Now this, al-ibadat al-qalbiyya, or the action of the hearts, have different names. It depends who's saying it and who's using it. So for example, some call it a'mal, ilm a'mal al-qulub, the science of the actions of the heart. Some call it ilm al-akhlaq wal-suluk. Ilm al-akhlaq, wal-suluk. Al-akhlaq, if you give the definition and see what the ulama say about it, they say حال للنفس داعية إلى الأفعال من غير فكر ولا روية. They said الأخلاق, how we define الأخلاق. They said it's actions that yourself will invite you to do, or you will do voluntarily, without having to, should I do this or not? No. الأخلاق, something you do بديهيا. You do involuntarily. They said these are الأخلاق. And this is what you train yourself on. ويقولون هيئة للنفس راسخة تصدر عنها الأفعال. It's some kind of condition with yourself, some kind of يعني your condition or yourself has reached some type of status that involuntarily reproduce this or produce this action. So if you come to tell the truth, or you come to me and you say, today I went to school and today I rode the bus, or I rode the bus and today I did, and I said, you're telling me the truth, but you did not think in the back of your head, I should tell him the truth. No. For example, okay? Stuff like that. So it's voluntarily. Akhlaq, you have good manners. As we say, akhlaq is manners, for example. But until you come and you act in a way that your akhlaq could be good manners, could be bad manners. But if you are badi, then you are someone who has bad mouth. Some people, you stand with them 2 minutes, you just don't want to see them again for the rest of your life. Every 2 words in his mouth is a curse. Bad, backbiting, this and that. He does not think. He had done it so many times that it became engraved and integrated part of his personality. So you come and you tell him, brother, stop backbiting. I'm backbiting. He has no idea that he's doing something wrong. And how many people are those? Everywhere, all of us maybe. All of us have bad habits that we don't realize unless someone tells us and explains it to us. So very important. to pay attention. So ليس الأخلاق السلوك. الله عز وجل tells موسى اسلك يدك في جيبك. ويقول الله عز وجل في سلسلة ذرعها 70 ذراعا فاسلكوه. ايش السلوك؟ اسلك يعني ادخل. اسلك يدك في جيبك. الله tells موسى يعني put your hands inside your pocket. تخرج بيضاء. Will come out white. So suluk means الدخول. Means to enter. So in other words, your suluk and your attitude is the presentation that you enter yourself into and prevail to the people. فهذا من أجل هذا أعمال القلب are called علم الأخلاق والسلوك. وأيضا هناك اسم آخر اسمه المقامات والأحوال. إحنا لا مشاحة في الألفاظ. In other words, it doesn't matter who's using these terms, because these terms we'll find them in with the Sufi. Do we disregard that? We're not talking about is it okay to use this terminology or that. That's not the issue. The issue is what it represents. In Islam, it doesn't matter. You can call yourself from Mars. But when it comes to the deen, what does that mean? Follow Quran and Sunnah بفهم سلف الأمة. I follow Quran and Sunnah with understanding of the first 3 generations. I really don't care what you call yourself at the end of the day. Even though sometimes we need to distinguish. And sometimes you need to be smart. If you're following Quran and Sunnah with the understanding of the first 3 generations, you don't go, for example, and call yourself Alawi, Nusayri, Rafidi. So we need to be wise in here. However, it doesn't matter. The names, أسماء, لها قيمة as much as المسميات, the contents. That's what Islam has been about since the inception and since the first day. So here they call it علم المقامات والأحوال. إيش الأحوال وإيش المقامات؟ هذا علم تجده عند الصوفيين. And they go to school and they study all these scenarios and all these wordings and terminologies and this, but it all doesn't matter. As long as you're not practicing, what's the benefit? This أعمال القلوب could be a science, and it is a science, and it can be taught, and you can go to a university to study, but it doesn't mean anything if you're not practicing any of it. If you're not putting it into your life. Quran, you can study Quran, but you have no idea what it means. What's the point? You can, and I know professors who are not Muslims, and they specialize in Middle Eastern studies and Islam. They memorize the Quran. They memorize the Quran and they read it better than any Muslim. What's the benefit? بل هؤلاء ممن يجرهم القرآن إلى النار. The way the Quran can take people to paradise, the same Quran can take people to hellfire. Very important to understand that. So عندهم حال المقامات والأحوال. يعني one of the definitions, the difference between الحال والمقام. الحال could be your condition. المقام your status. In other words, you go through الحال, you exercise الحال, and then suddenly once you master that, you can move up into المقام. هذا عندهم تفكير. But also one of the meanings, the difference between الحال والمقام, they said الأحوال وهبية. أما المقامات كسبية. إيش يعني؟ They said الأحوال, and I don't need to translate every word. I will give you the meaning of the word because translate doesn't mean any condition. So what does that mean? Okay? الأحوال, they said وهبية, meaning, now we talk about what? The actions of the heart. So they say some actions of the heart وهبية, أحوال, some actions of the heart كسبية, مقامات. الوهبية meaning that you are given since you're born. Allah Azza wa Jalla created you and He created with you certain manners, certain actions of the heart. You don't earn it. هذه وهبية, يعني you're granted it. المقامات كسبية, يعني you have to work for it. But اعلم يا عبد الله, the actions of the hearts, some of them وهمية, but they all need to work. يعني من السنة, there is a man صحابي رضي الله عنه اسمه أشج بن عبد قيس. أشج يعني because he had a cut in his head, they called him أشج, and he was يعني a big guy in his stomach. أشج بن عبد قيس. So he came with his people عبد قيس to visit the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. So the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم tells him, إن فيك لخصلتين يحبهما الله ورسوله. He tells him, the Prophet ﷺ, you got two manners or two characters, and those two characters from the actions of the heart. Allah and His Messenger love. Al-Hilm wal-Ana. Al-Hilm يعني forbearance. In other words, what forbearance means? It means that someone does you wrong, you don't rush to avenge. You don't rush to beat him up. هذا حلم. You forgive. Your character of forgiving overcome your character of avenging. Wal-Ana is to be smart, meaning to take the right decision, to be patient in making decision, to reflect, to think before you talk, before you run into making decisions. You think. Someone comes to tell you, I have 1, 2, 3 problems. You tell them, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Let me sleep on it. Let me think about it. هذه أنا. But الشاهد that الأشج بن عبد قيس رضي الله عنه, as the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he said, أقديما كانتا في أم حديثة؟ شوف. لو صحابة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم إياه. He said, يا رسول الله, those two characters were with me from long time ago, or they just happened to me? Yeah, in other words, he's asking, I was born with those. Yani Allah granted me those, or I learned them. He wants to know. Because if it's this way, he has to act this way. If it's that way, he has to act different way. Why would he ask that question? Because he has al-ana. We said al-ana is to be smart in making decisions. So the Prophet ﷺ is telling him, you got this and that. So now because he has ana and he has intelligence in making decisions, he's asking, is this something I was born with or something I learned or I earned? Because he wants to make the right decision on how to protect it. في رواية قال سأل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يعني أجبلني الله عليها. Is this something Allah created me with? Or I earned? فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم جبلك الله عليها. Allah Azza wa Jalla granted it to you since He created you. It's part of your nature. فقال الحمد لله الذي جبلني على ما يحب الله ورسوله. He said, Alhamdulillah, who created me with something that Allah and His Messenger love. So they said, these ahwal. Al-ahwal, you're born with it. But comes an issue. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إنما الحلم بالتحلم وإنما العلم بالتعلم. العلم بالتعلم هذه فهمناها. والله أخرجكم من بطون أمهاتكم لا تعلمون شيئا. Allah has brought you out of the wombs of your mother knowing nothing. So the Prophet ﷺ said, إنما العلم بالتعلم. Knowledge is through learning. You want to learn, you want to gain knowledge, you have to learn. But he also says, وإنما الحلم بالتحلم. Forbearance or forbearance must be earned through learning, through making or taking the means to earn forbearance. So how we combine between this hadith and this hadith? We're going to say, no, this hadith is weak and we throw it in. La, both are sound hadith and fine hadith, that can be used as shawahid. Very simple. Again, the question is, if the Prophet ﷺ told Al-Ashaj ibn Abd Qais, Allah created you with forbearance. Then the Prophet ﷺ says in another hadith, you want forbearance, you have to work for it. So how we combine between this and this? Very simple. Those who are not born with forbearance, they need to learn it. And those who are born with forbearance, they need to keep it. The Prophet ﷺ tells you about the heart, where forbearance sits in. Remember that we said the heart is container. Forbearance, one of the actions of the heart. So where forbearance sits? In the heart. Prophet ﷺ tells you the heart tears the way that a piece of clothes will tear. Yeah. The heart goes bad the way a piece of clothes go bad. So if the heart itself, the container can go bad, imagine what's in it. Imagine what's in it. Very important. So, إِنَّمَا الْحِلْمُ بِالتَّحَلُّمِ, meaning if Allah did not give you that character, you work for it. Some people are angry and crazy, not cases. But then they start going into psychological evaluation or anger management classes or some nonsense. I mean, some of that, they start more in the deen, more Quran, more humbling themselves. They start taking some drugs, medicine, and suddenly they control their anger. He gets married suddenly, he's quiet. I mean, he's quiet. He was quiet. Now that guy who Allah created him with forbearance got married to a shaitan, to a crazy woman. If he doesn't manage and he doesn't make sure that he's protecting his forbearance, what's going to happen? Very important. Vice versa. A woman, mashallah, so quiet, so calm, so muttazina, very relaxed, carry herself very gracefully. She marries the brother of Iblis. ما هو إنسان في مثلاقها شيطان في مثلاق بشر. He looks like a human being, but inside shaitan lives in him. His behavior shaitan, his heart is the heart of shaitan. What's going to happen to this woman? After a couple of years has no patience whatsoever. So that's where الحلم التحلم. You got something from Allah, you make sure you protect it. You don't have something from Allah, Allah did not give it to you that easy, you work for it if you really desire it. Just like any attributes you can work on. So these are different terminologies for the science. Some call it علم التصوف. Now, Shaykh al-Islam came in a time where Sufiya became dominant and widespread. And it became groups. That's why you find in a lot of his writings, he's clarifying about what's right and what's wrong. I know when I say, hey, this is in the Sufiya, I'm not supporting Sufiya, but there is aspect in Sufiya that are part of the behaviors of the Sahaba. So I cannot say Sufiya all shaitan or all bad. Okay? But which aspect? يعني the aspect you don't care about the dunya. All the Sahaba didn't care, the Prophet didn't care about the dunya. So I'm gonna just trash all the Sufiya مثلا. But the Sufiya with this aspect went too far. They focused on these things, الأحوال والمقامات and المريد والنون-مريد والله, all this stuff. شطحوا. They went so far. To the point where they took some of the important actions of the heart and they said, these are for al-awam. These things are for the mainstream people, normal people. But there are people higher than that, they don't have to do that. They went into the actions of the hearts and the actions of the faculties as well. You read in their books when they deviated big time from the deen and from the Quran and the Sunnah, جاءوا بالعجائب. They came with the weirdest thing. They reached with the maqam, so he reached, as in for some of them, they reached with the maqam that he doesn't have to pray anymore. Because his status is, this prayer is for people to start picking up and climbing. I'm already on top here, why do you need to pray? Even though Muhammad ﷺ prayed until the last minute. شوف how the shaitan got into their heads. Some actions of the heart, for example, al-haya. He tells you al-haya and shyness and modesty for al-awam. But then I have reached, the Shaykh, I have reached a status where al-haya is not a big deal, because I already reached a level where people don't need to see me modest to know who I am. So he ends up, for example, one of the things he would do, يجامع الحمار في الطريق. العياذ بالله. ما يكتبهم. He will have intercourse with a donkey in the street, in front of people, to show them what, to tell them what, that he has reached a status that doing good will not benefit him and doing bad will not harm him. عثمان ما شاء الله. عجيب أمرهم. وهذا المرفوض, and this is rejected and we do not accept. Aisha radiallahu anha saw a man walking slowly, and one of those, quiet and like he's so into himself and no dunya he cares about, quiet, as they walk. What is this? She said, Umar radiallahu anhu, when he used to walk, he used to scare. And when he used to hit, he used to hurt. كان أزهد الناس. He used to walk fast. The Prophet ﷺ, they describe his walking, they said as if he's coming down a hill. If you're coming down a high place, a hill, normally gravity will take you, attract you, whatever. You're going faster than normal. That was the walk of the Prophet ﷺ. The Sahaba will have hard time to catch with him. But كان أزهد الناس. Doesn't have to be your dirty and patched clothes and walking like a turtle to show that you are so humble and you're so stable and you're so connected with Allah. Okay? So when we say hearts, we're talking about the hearts of the prophets and the hearts of the companions. These are the best hearts. Very important. So عند أهل التصوف, some of them went so far, they started neglecting stuff in the deen so obvious. وهذا من عمل الشيطان. Okay? So we start very quick reading, so we say that we read something in the book. يقول شيخ الإسلام رحمه الله: الحمد لله نستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا، من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. أما بعد، هذه اسمها خطبة الحاجة. خطبة الحاجة تحتوي and contains the praise of Allah Azza wa Jal, the remembrance of Allah, the thanking of Allah, seeking refuge in Allah, seeking guidance from Allah Azza wa Jal, praising the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and sending the prayers upon him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is sunnah mahjura. Perhaps that 70 or 80% of people who give khutbahs neglect this. هذه سنة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. No speech, no talk he will give sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but he will start with this. وهذه خطبة الحاجة حتى when he would do marriage contract, he will say وهذه السنة. So learn it, and this is something you should know by now. Listen to me. يقول شيخ الإسلام after that: فهذه كلمات مختصرة في أعمال القلوب التي قد تسمى المقامات أو الأحوال. أعمال القلوب, he said this is a summarized version Summarized version about his book. A summarized version of the actions of the heart. We said the actions of the heart, actions of the tongue, and actions of Jawari, faculties. But here the book is about the actions of the heart. So don't come at the end and tell me you didn't talk about Salah. So this is a very summarized book about the actions of the heart. That also could be called al-maqamat or al-ahwal, which is the two terminologies that I explained briefly. وهي من أصول الإيمان وقواعد الدين. الإسلام الدين إيمان or Islam إيمان إحسان. So he is saying rahimahullah that this science, the actions of the heart, from the fundamentals of the deen. Do not come and say, okay, I don't need to listen to these talks because it's optional. What he gonna mention, optional. The actions of the heart, optional. And I pray zakah, siyam, hajj, I'm done. La. He's saying these are fundamental parts of this deen. But people differ on how much they got of it. People differ in the status, in the action of the heart called al-khawf, fear of Allah. People have different levels. Some people, the level of heart or fear they have in their hearts will prevent them from committing haram. Fine. Some people, the level of fear is higher than that, will prevent them from getting into doubtful matters, into doing al-makruhat, the disliked things in the deen, which is not, it's not haram to do, but you're bringing yourself a step closer to the haram. So it depends on the level of al-khawf, different levels. But to say there is no fear, that's why he's saying it's imperative, obligated part of the deen, these actions of the heart. Because if the heart lacks one of those things completely, فَهُوَ قَلْبٌ كَافِرٌ. It's a disbeliever's heart. You must have a minimum. If someone comes and says, and I have no fear in my heart of Allah, عِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, هذا كافر. And we will see the actions of the heart, many things, mahabba, and perhaps half of his book about the love of Allah, that we really need. You see, that when you love drives you to do whatever. If you love something, it will drive to do. When you hate something, you don't want to do anything. That's why he focused on the idea of loving Allah Azza wa Jalla, and he has beautiful words. We need to love Allah Azza wa Jalla. So people, the way they love Allah, different levels. The way Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam loved Allah is different than I love Allah. Different level than any one of us, different level than the whole ummah. But if someone comes and says, I don't have any love for Allah, هذا كافر. So that's why again he said these are obligations, and you have to have a minimum to be Muslim or mu'min or muhsin. You have to have some level at least in your heart of those actions to be considered Muslim or believer. Okay, that's why he said وهي من أصول الإيمان وقواعد الدين. And then he gives you examples of those actions of the heart that he will address in more details later on as we go on inshallah. But he mentioned 7 here. مثل like محبة الله ورسوله, محبة الله ورسوله, the love of Allah and His Messenger. The love يعني ميول القلب, where your heart inclined toward. Okay, هذا الله. The love of Allah and His Messenger. والتوكل على الله. توكل على الله هو الاعتماد, تفويض الأمر إلى الله عز وجل. To rely on Allah عز وجل and to leave it to Allah. Until you take the means, you do with the means, with الأسباب, تأخذ بالأسباب, and you leave the rest to Allah عز وجل. هذا التوكل على الله. وإخلاص الدين لله. إخلاص يعني تنقية قلبك من أي شيء. to clarify and purify your heart from any deities, any partners, any associations. هذا الإخلاص, from the actions of the heart. والشكر له, to show him gratitude into how much you're accepting his blessings, how much his blessings reflecting in your actions. That's shukr. That's why when you get out of ruku', you're not supposed to say سمع الله لمن حمده. You're not supposed to say ربنا لك الحمد ربنا ولك الحمد والشكر ربنا لك الحمد والشكر. الشكر ما وردت, because the shukr is more of actions. الحمد is more of talk. تحمد الله بلسانك, تشكر الله بجوارحك. الشكر reflection, but it has to have basis in the heart. Starts from the heart. والصبر على حكمه. الصبر يعني تحبس نفسك عن الجزع وعن التسخط على الله عز وجل. To hold yourself in control. When we talk about patience, to hold and control yourself from being angry with the qadr of Allah. You're not complaining about Allah with whatever harms happens to you. You accept the words of Allah and the qadr of Allah willingly. والخوف منه, الخوف to fear Allah عز وجل. والرجاء له, to hope from Allah. To believe. We have to learn how to live our life knowing for a fact that Allah عز وجل can admit us into paradise. هذا رجاء. But you have to work for it. وما يتبع ذلك and whatever related to that. So I mentioned those sevens. اقتضى ذلك بعض من أوجب الله حقه من أهل الإيمان. So I decided to write this to fulfill the request of some people who have rights upon me. Muslims, people of Iman. واستكتبتها وكل منا عجلان. And I wrote it, and both of us, me, the writer, and people who requested it, are in a hurry. In a hurry. He got his things to worry about. They got their things, they need to travel back to Iraq, perhaps. They got their things. So he wrote it in a hurry. فأقول هذه الأعمال جميعها واجبة على جميع الخلق المأمورين باتفاق أمة الدين. These actions of the heart he's going to start mentioning are all obligated upon the people of this deen and of this iman by the consensus of the ulama of this ummah. These things we're going to talk about, the actions of the heart, are obligations upon the individuals who belong to this deen by the consensus of the scholars of this deen. And we stop here inshallah, and we continue tomorrow. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.